Alright. Well, I hope so, because we are starting. Alright. So, as expected, we have some Nangongshang. We have Xiu on Nangongshang, CJ on Nangongshang, Woxin on Nangongshang. At the very
Getting
least.
it right in there before anyone has an opportunity to ban it.
I'm excited to see Entangle Li Man. That's a fun one. If you thought the vines on Nangongshang were good, you should see the vines on Entangle Nangongshang.
The Is this going to be the double entangle V-Man? I'm guessing.
I'm guessing. I am guessing.
Uh, by which I mean entangling vine and crash fist entangle.
Yeah, yeah. That would be
Okay.
my assumption. That is a pretty filthy board once it comes together. It's a little bit scary to queue up into Vine like Child's late game on Entangle, because it really is a board that kind of wants a lot of quality, which I think the breakthrough with Nangongshang and immediately hit a board full of like UWF and chases is particularly good at playing.
Yeah, it's the secret second P1 ability they never tell you about on Nangong, that round 12 you will draw a UWF. And so he's just gonna have the board on. You better be ready to go right away.
Alright. Well, CJ picking up a quick win here. I did notice that Momo is on a Cloud Dance Rhythm Mirage. That's one that I've seen actually get banned in one of these events as like one of the ban picks. So people clearly respect that one. Did Fletching Ming fall out of favor? I'm thinking it's rough into Vine, and also it has been getting banned a lot. So it might just be that everybody is figuring they should play Nangongshang because... Sorry, it has been getting banned a lot, but also Nangongshang has been getting banned more. So I am imagining people are looking at their Nangongshang opportunity and expecting it to disappear after game one. So, take it or lose it.
I think I think that the Cloud Dance Rhythm Sword and Type Cat board maybe is one of those boards. It's a little goofy to say, but it has a little more merit in tournament than it does on the ladder.
Mm-hmm.
Because in tournament, you tend to see a lot more of the interact played. Things like Predicament of Worlds, the 9 Evil Rup Sprite, the Entangling Vine, all these cards that like really mess with what your opponent is doing. And Sword and Tent boards, for all the flaws they have, they do remarkably well at not caring those things.
True. I think, yes, it's funny that Lehman went to -3 cultivation. I get that question a lot. Can you go to negative cultivation? Yeah, I think it's a pretty... The thing I like about the Cat Sword engine is how little space it takes, and I think the Cloud Dance Rhythm Mirage complements it just so well, because you can put whatever chases or not chases you want before it. You can play defensive cards. It's kind of like everything you play has Sword Intent on it, and that option is really good. Now, it is a little bit rough into Nangongshang specifically because of the revive being particularly good against Cat Sword. I have seen a lot of Fulu players holding a level 2 Fire Cloud Fulu just to deal with Chart. Like, picking it up on like round 4 or something and then just holding it for the entire game over anything else, because just having an out to Nangongshang's revive as a board like Cat Sword is just so critical.
Hey, you gotta have something.
Yeah.
I see that our Tom Shayan player has picked Fortune Teller. Often, I believe this is paired with none of the Mirage cards. Is that your understanding of what's going on here?
Generally, I have seen Vitality Blossom occasionally pop up with Fortune Teller. I don't think it's like outside the realm of possibility, but my money would be on no Mirage.
I'm gonna poo-poo that one. I really think Vitality Blossom belongs with Plant Master. But I know that there are people who have different viewpoints on that.
Yeah, I think Vitality Blossom is one of those cards that no one's really... I don't think there's a consensus formed on it as yet. That said, I do agree. I don't think it would be my first bet. You can see some of the locked cards here. Li Jianxin having a locked Spirit Gather, like the Nangong Shong. HHH for Tan Shuyan, very powerful.
Indeed. Okay, that is actually like emergently, it's increasingly more normal with the fortune teller Tan Shuyan. I know that people usually think of HHH as the formation Tan Shuyan plan, but it turns out that you only have to hold like 3 extra cards or something, and then you have this great alternative to the healer plan with there's just a side detect chi and HHH, and you can play this highly disruptive board that's a decently fast kill and just like sides them on every even numbered turn.
Yeah, that
and
board
heal
is
a whole bunch.
Yeah, that board is a terrifying late game board. I think one that if you've only been sort of laddering, you might not appreciate just how frightening it is.
It's really easy to underestimate. It doesn't look that good on paper. But it's also totally essential for the Tan Shuyan to keep that kind of tech here, because healer boards just cannot defeat sword intent boards ever, basically. The sword intent player just knows they can extend. Play one more SI surge and you're going to overkill by 1 billion, right? So, whereas side is canonically one of the very most challenging cards to defeat with SI, so it's a good plan.
For sure. We have Orsin has a vase on their child board. CJ... Ooh, CJ, interesting. Oh no, sorry, I misread the fates. So far these children haven't done a great job of drawing their Wood Spirit secret seals. Phase gaming, good day, Plat.
Senpai wants a rating on the skin game. They all did okay. I don't know. None of them picked the characters that have the OP skins, frankly. So there you go.
So
they did as well as they could have, making considerations about like winning the game, which I guess is the thing they also care about, maybe.
So Washington has not taken explosion here. I have to assume that the vision behind that is CJ just hasn't broken through yet. I have to assume the reason for that is that they are trying to outspeed the other Nangong Shongs in the lobby. I can't.
I was about to say, if all the world is Nangong Shen, I would rather be 1 turn faster than have plus 18 damage or whatever it equates to.
It's a bold call because that reach is CJ wins the lottery and picks up their Wood Seal. That is a not irrelevant amount of damage that you are giving up. I think quite a lot
That's true.
I think quite a lot of Nangong Shung's boards get to the end of their board, their opponent kills them but can't break their revive, and then like the Wood Seal does lethal damage. You are sacrificing a lot to say, I just want to make sure I win the late game.
I agree with you that can be an issue, but I actually think it's more of an issue through the middle of the game.
Sure.
I think that's where the explosion damage was actually helping them the most. And in the late game, once you get some moderate quality, you draw more cards than just the guaranteed UWF on round 12. Then it actually starts to be a little bit less relevant at that point.
That's fair.
So they're making a gamble on getting there, is what I'm getting at.
Yeah. No, that's a good point. It'll be interesting to see how that one works out.
I absolutely expect them to get abused by the other fire children until, I don't know, round 14 or something.
It is true. Washington has been taking down more victories than than the other ones. And also, Washington sitting here with the vase as well does kind of give them a little bit of assurance, speaking to your point, Titania, that they're going to get to their late game they're going to get to their late game
Yeah.
without the explosion because, well, gaining 2 destiny and a little bit of healing is not too bad.
I said until round 14, that was the number I picked out of a hat, and it's round 7. He's halfway there, and he's over starting life total, so you're gonna have
Actually,
to step it up, people, to beat this vase.
you can see the Firecloud Fulu on Momo's board, ready to deploy into the late game. a pretty
Yep.
a pretty classic breakthrough board for Lu Jianshin here, with only 4 cards, 4 good ones. The Spirit Edge Sword, another card that's been a real house in the later part of the season, in the earlier part too, and then it took a little bit for people to sort of really start exploring it.
I adore that they lined up with the normal attacks interweaved so they could try to block on the right turn.
Yeah,
I mean, they have to know it's absolutely futile here. They're gonna lose this round. If you could lose and take 2 less destiny damage.
well, I mean, let's see. We're going back around the board for the for Momo. It not quite lined up the second time around. You know, solid effort.
Wasn't lined up the first time either. Momo's wise to the tricks. He pushed it back in Fire Cloud Fulu earlier.
All right, this is time for our. So the name's like it's like cute something. Their transformation round as their board sort of warps. This one I always find kind of tricky because there are a pretty broad range of cards that are useful to you, but it is also still like you do need to find quite a lot of them. See here this Flashman looking like it's going to be stranded in the hand because they have to play the Pierce the Star as their Spirit Edge Sword card. Ooh, that's an exciting treasure.
I didn't see it. It went by too fast. What am I excited by?
Lee Man has the Tier 4 DX treasure card, the Driven Mad by Strength or whatever it is. The
Yes.
Physique to attack up to internal injury.
To internal injury. Yep.
Yeah. I don't know if that's something you play into with Lee Man from this spot. I'm curious to see if they do. It's a very, very strong card. But
It definitely is, and you know the RKP game plan is like it has enough multi hits to take advantage of an entangling vine, even if it doesn't really work as a game plan with the Crash Fist entangle as well.
And Tenchion takes down Momo. Is Seal Elixirist, or have they picked up a random like side job card from a Mirage? Because I just noticed that is a level 2 Divine Power Elixir on their board, which definitely implies that they are Elixirist instead.
They played Small Recover Elixir in one of the earlier rounds. So
Seal is Elixir. It's a brave call. You are staring down a lot of vines this lobby.
Well, maybe that's their answer to the question on P3. Do I want to have explosion or do I want to go first? And
True.
CU said, yes.
What Mirage did the children play? They do not take a Mirage. The only way to ban the Nan Gongsheng game plan is to ban Nan Gongsheng himself.
I know that many of us are guilty of not always reading the lines of text underneath the Mirage options on that first dialogue window, but it turns out some of them actually do some sauce.
All right, let's see if Seal's board can defeat the Tenchion mid-game pile. It's a pretty good mid-game pile, to be honest. A lot of blue cards in there.
Yeah, that's a fantastic mid-game pile, I would say. It's not going to be good enough, but
No.
Tan Shayan usually doesn't aspire to, well, maybe good enough is what she aspires to in this phase of the game.
She gets what she can. Alright, and we didn't get to see it play out, but Momo representing the classic cat mid-game board there of Cat Sword followed by unavoidable 16 damage Fire Cloud Fulu to finish off Nan Gongsheng. Staple of this series of tournaments.
Does every single one of the children have their Phoenix Rebirth? I believe so.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is the one that they have collectively decided is non-negotiable. Must have that. Which is interesting.
That seems to be the emergent decision, but you know the community has gone back and forth on that so many times.
I was gonna say it's really not at all been consensus the whole time that Child has been around that this is a thing worth taking, and part of that is metagame shifts as well. Like the season certainly has a broad spectrum of boards that blow you the fuck up really quickly. So having that extra defensive layer is deemed quite valuable at the moment. Very valuable even. And given we're looking at skipping explosion, the cultivation inside.
Oh, boo, Qian putting the vase at the end. How are you supposed to vase twice if it's at the end of the board?
There was a previous tournament where someone didn't take revive and they went last. Yeah, because they couldn't revive. Makes sense to me. Yeah, let's see if Fortune gets punished for having their vase last. And by punished, I mean they don't get to play their vase.
No, it's Lee Man. You get to play it. It's just a question of how many times, right?
Almost didn't get away with it.
It's really easy to underestimate how much HP Lee Man's tier 3 ability saves him. And also, it helps that on top of that, he's like always gonna play some kind of physique card on P4. He wants Buds or Marrow, and both of those are healing him. Even if it's not one of those two, this superfluous physique heals him.
Nangongshan drawing their contractually obligated UWF and Vine on their breakthrough turn.
Always, every time. This is round 11, so they're gonna get another one on round 12 because that's the round you always get it.
It's you gotta feel pretty good in this spot. Got a Fragrant too. Not that their boards usually play Fragrant. It's definitely a good sort of holdover card while you assemble the rest of your pieces. Cirque being the major missing piece at the moment. Ah, there it is. There it is. They did it. All right. Well, time for this person to just sort of relax. I see we have a Chi Devouring Sunflower on the Lee Man. They've drawn one copy of Entangle.
Chi Devouring Sunflower is excellent counterattack into the normal Nangong board. I love rep spriting them as one of the best single card counterplays to what they would usually do. Do they have adaptations? Absolutely. This strategy has been so dominant for a reason. But at least you gotta make them find them. And it's not just reordering the cards, they have to find some new ones that they might not have played.
So, are we looking at a cat girl who has broken through in round 11? Is that what we're looking at right now? That it seems like
seems that way.
That seems like a Herculean effort. They must... Wow. How do they have enough cards for Cat Sword?
I would assume that they didn't at one point in the turn, but just assumed they would draw cards with the P5 ability.
Yeah, that must have been it. Because, wow, that Lee Man sure took a thrashing. Most of this lobby... So, round 11, it's a very painful round for a lot of characters who can't break through on it. This lobby, almost everybody, including a character who infamously needs to hold cards, has broken through on round 11. I think Liu Jianshin is going to be one of the only ones who hasn't. You see another adaptation for the child metagame here of a level 1 side also doing the job to finish off a post-revive Nangongsheng.
Yup.
Was one of the Mirages the Shadow Dao one? See, I don't think so, because that Lin Xiaoyue Momo was still on 55 cultivation. There was a Dao rhyme, which is... But no, we know they took Cloud Dance Rhythm. Who knows? Who knows? Well, speaking of things that are contractually obligated to happen, we have the gold Tenchuyan boards coming online.
Yeah, I mean, Titania cut off Mundane is gonna cut off Mundane. We know how that goes. She hits very rapidly from, like, of course, around like 11 to 14. Just the board improvement is so much more marked than for other characters.
100%. You've got a pretty interesting Destinies right here. So CJ is in real trouble, has not been able to find their feet here, and is staring down a fairly monstrous board. Their board looks good. It looks good. It is missing a couple of pieces, but there's a lot of attack up there and a UWF, so probably still okay.
Jesus, surreal. You can't just say, oh, we have funny destinies here and then not call out the silly number.
I didn't even see it. I was looking at the max Destiny, near max Destiny Momo and the 14 Destiny CJ.
Sure you were, sure.
Alright, let's see if CJ can do it. They're out of UWF charges. And this is going to be a pretty huge prairie anyway.
And now all the post actions are online now, but oh, that got there.
Just barely. Rough. Wow, that's a rough game for CJ. I wonder if they'll ban child.
You know, I would giggle. I who could blame them? Gosh, that must feel like such a beating. It feels like he, did everything kind of right by the book and still just got flexed on when 8th. He even, as the manuscript says, the script says, just hit. UWF, and your Cirque, and your Prairie. Yeah, he followed those guidelines, still just went 8th.
Yep, it can happen. Alright, so Momo here's looking pretty good. We've got the 1,000 Evils, really good card into these multi-hit boards. We have Seal, 68 Destiny, looking pretty good. I'd say that Willow Leaf is a very hard card to incorporate into these boards if you want to play your vines. HHH, Echo on the Tantrians. Well, this one looks a little bit like a hodgepodge. This one, on the other hand, looks basically complete. Could use a Detect Chi in there, but still some.
Yes.
It's a while before it runs out. It's a while before it runs out of Chi, but it does run out of Chi.
There's some variations you can play that are a little bit better at surviving early bursts that run out of Chi faster. So they may be, waiting on that, hoping that they can get in some of those versions.
Speaking of running out of Chi, what are we doing here?
I also think that board can be a little slow to kill if you have no upgrades on the side, which is currently their circumstance.
Sure. It is a board that gets a lot scarier with upgrades. The HHA upgrade, the Revitalized upgrade, the side upgrades, all of them add very significant amount of damage.
Yeah, the text on side is so horrifying that it's so easy for people to overlook just how much the number is at the top.
Yeah. It looks like this is going the way of the better dressed Tenchion. Skin
Those are fighting words, surreal.
that was a second cycle Cat Sword kill against Sio's revive.
The best dressed Tan Shiyan is the non-legend skin one with the alt color in the purple. You all can fight me about that.
I didn't realize. I didn't realize there were strong opinions about that. Alright. Lee Man is struggling to find the second half of the Entangle engine. Only one Dow Fruit and one level 1 Vine queuing into full UWF Child. Seo doesn't have Vines, but they do have a pretty online board. Their big weakness at the moment is this Heartfire being their fire card. Like, not having access to Prairie against Lee Man is a pretty big beating.
Yeah, you need both. You need Prairie to, beat the people, but then Lee Man, when he brings in that chi corrupting sunflower, you need your Heartfire.
That's true. And I think it is an adaptation we've seen a fair bit, or I've seen a fair bit over the last couple of weeks of running this Wood Seal into Heartfire, specifically as a combination of beats the, sort of level 1, I'm going to chi deny this person, and then also as a way to make sure your board gets back to damage in a timely fashion if you don't kill on your first cycle.
Oh my god, he did it. He did the thing that I said. Just assume you're getting Prairied, but little does he know, the opponent has not found the Prairie.
Nope. Alright. So here comes
I love starting this out with Styx Agility Truncate. I don't think most DX characters can get away with this into Nangong. It's typically not enough. But when Lee Man has his P3 on top of that, there's a lot of damage mitigation there.
Alright, we have a Tancheon on Cheap Death. We have both of the Nangong Chungs pretty low and now facing off against each other. If you're Momo...
Oh, come on, Stream Observer, you have to show us the duel of the Nangongs. Did it pay off? This is what he skipped Explosion for. This right here, and we might not get to see the moment of truth.
We're seeing the Tensions or something. And if you're Momo here, you've got to be very, very happy. You're sitting at 95 Destiny. Your next highest is 27. Your board looks great. It's a pretty good time to be a cat girl.
Certainly. Does he have Cat Soul Bless? I haven't been checking, but I'm gonna assume not, because it would have been too hard to find that round 11 breakthrough.
Correct.
As a cat girl.
It was turn 2, draw side job cards, turn 3 Epiphany, I think. Tier 3 Epiphany, I think.
Okay.
Which is how they made up the distance.
That makes sense. Epiphany is really the best thing you can hit oftentimes as a cat girl on specifically tier 3, because you're rolling pre-4 so aggressively for your sword intent cards, right?
Yeah, definitely.
It's often the case, especially with the classic. I know we're not seeing it here, but the classic Fortune Teller Green Cat board rolls to literally 0 on typically round 8, and then double breakthroughs to get their Cat Blast.
All right.
Yeah, and he may not have followed that formula exactly, but it's probably not that significant a deviation.
All right, we have the HHH board. The infamous HHH board. Oh, it looks like this guard up is going to come down right on time. Yeah, and also kill Liu Jianshin. Just set him to 1. Perfectly timed.
Right on time, you say.
Perfectly timed guard up. Alright. Momo sending this Tension to the Shadow Realm. And... ooh, the Combined Worlds into Siu's board. Just barely enough to kill him. Not enough to eliminate, though. Wow, we have a lot of people on Death Star. And it looks like Lee Man gets got by the cat sword.
It does seem that way. Did he not get that? Yeah, he didn't get the Snow Lotus down in time.
Too greedy with it. So Lee-Man and CJ take the 7th and 8th position. So they will be determining the bans for the next game.
Lee Man going out has to be a huge sigh of relief for our formation master Tan Shuyan, because for those watching, some of you may be aware, some of you may not have thought about it. One of the very best ways you can fight the infamous double echo HHH Tan Shuyan board, Chi Denial. You'll stun her for so many turns. It just looks sad, and and he was the guy with the Chi Denial.
Yeah.
Like they have to play.
Big sigh of relief. Alright. Tanxian's facing up in a fight to the death. We have Formation Master versus Fortune Teller.
I assume we're gonna see some adaptation or rearrangement for Strike Twice side here, right? Usually that's what you want so that you can skip both the chase into the echo and the echo itself, and then cause them to echo back and forth on the wrong side of the board between the two echoes.
Forcing them to strike twice echo is pretty good as well. that does have a pretty high impact.
Well, looks like I called it right. It wasn't quite that, but it was, they still just got there with normal side fortune tool.
Yeah.
Oh no, Mama, where was your finger called Fulu?
Maybe it's gone. Maybe they had to eat it to break through earlier.
We trained for this! Oh.
Well, Seo takes it
down. You killed him, and then you had one more turn, and it wasn't Fire Cloud.
Well, Seo gets to live to fight another day. The same can't be said for our blacksmith friend here. Although, maybe I'm wrong. You know what would have helped out Warshin here? If their seals dealt 3 damage. Would have been would have been helpful to have their seals deal 3 damage through defense. We still have 4 people on single digits of destiny, and then Momo sitting on 74.
I mean, that's Momo. He's my favorite player for a reason, okay?
Seo is staring down the horrifying Tenchion board here. I think this is going to be a pretty hard one. I think the side situation can get pretty devastating. Speed time? Going second for Seo.
Oh, this is interesting. We saw the tech swap here to everything goes away. Does this Tantrion not realize they're facing the only child in the lobby that isn't a plant master with an entangling vine?
That might be what's happened here. Yeah, they are ready for Vine. I think it's gonna be okay for them. Unfortunately for Seo, these sides have been just a little too backbreaking. Yeah. If Seo goes down, we're also gonna see another elimination here, I believe.
What's really backbreaking about the board is you were used to thinking about playing around side and like, oh well, maybe I can slip a chase in front of the key card, or if nothing else, I can just leave a normal attack in the slot they're skipping. Or no, you're getting sided like every other turn by this board. It doesn't happen. The only play around available is just a board of cards that don't care about the order they go in. That Tantrion isn't skipping your cards, they're shuffling your deck.
Alright, well, we're down to our top 2. So we had 3 people eliminated there. Woxin, Xiu, and Liu Jianxin. So that's triple elimination. And now we've got Momo staring down Pantry on board here.
So I talked about this as early as turn 1, how they needed to have this side HHH tech available as a play around option, because the Fortune Teller heal board just can never get there against Sword and Tech.
Right, yeah.
But side is very hard to beat with Sword and Tech.
That is true, though this one is extremely insulated by chases.
It is? Yeah, if our Tong player got to run it back, do you think we would see some strike twice side? Because that could maybe get there.
I think potentially I mean, this is really just showing just how good Cloud Dance Rhythm is, right? Like, look at how much extra damage that board dealt on its second cycle. Super clean by Momo. Just a super clean, like, whole game, just beginning to end, just like a real masterclass.
Yeah, they ended on 1 billion Destiny more than everyone else, and they weren't even the Jade Vase player.